Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik. Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik, Arabic, Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik. When he was born in 691, his father named him after his mother. Life and background. Hisham was born in Damascus, the center of the Umayyad Caliphate, c. 691. He was the son of Caliph Abd al-Malik r. 685–705, and his wife Fatima, the daughter of Hisham ibn Ismail al-Makhzumi. He was a member of the Banu Makhzum, a clan of the Arab tribe of Quraysh, being a great-grandson of Walid ibn al-Mughira. He himself gained prominence when his daughter married the fifth Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan r. 685–705, and in 691 he became a grandfather to the future Caliph Hisham ibn Abd al-Malik r. 724–743, who was reportedly named after him. Caliph Yazid Roman II died in ʿAbd in the Balqa, i.e. Transjordan subdistrict of Jund. His son al-Walid, or half-brother Hisham, led his funeral prayers. Yazid had intended to appoint al-Walid as his immediate successor, but was persuaded by Maslama to appoint Hisham instead, followed by al-Walid. Reign. Inheriting the caliphate from his brother Yazid Roman II, Hisham was ruling an empire with many different problems. He would, however, be effective in attending to these problems, and in allowing the Umayyad Empire to continue as an entity. His long rule was an effective one, and it saw a rebirth of reforms that were originated by Umar bin Abd al-Aziz. Like his brother al-Walid I, Hisham was a great patron of the arts, and he again encouraged arts in the empire. He also encouraged the growth of education by building more schools, and perhaps most importantly, by overseeing the translation of numerous literary and scientific masterpieces into Arabic. He returned to a stricter interpretation of the Sharia, as Umar had, and enforced it, even upon his own family. His ability to stand up to the Umayyad clan may have been an important factor in his success, and may point to why his brother Yazid was ineffective. According to tradition, Hisham ordered the hadith scholar Ibn Shihab al-Zuhri d. 742 to commit the hadith he had memorized to writing. Succession plans. Following his accession, Hisham attempted to secure Maslama, his son, as his successor in place of the appointed successor, his predecessor's son al-Walid ibn Yazid Roman II, known as al-Walid Roman II. Hisham's initial attempts following the Hajj of 735 to persuade al-Walid to step down in favor of Maslama or give Maslama the oath of allegiance as al-Walid's successor were rejected by al-Walid. Afterward, Hisham sought to undermine al-Walid and secretly gathered support for Maslama. The latter's nomination was supported by his paternal uncle, the famous general Maslama ibn Abd al-Malik, Hisham's maternal grandfather, the former governor of Medina Hisham ibn Ismail al-Makhzumi, and his sons Ibrahim and Mohammed, and the sons of the influential Banu Ab's chief of northern Syria, al-Kaka ibn Kulayd. Maslama's mother Hakam also lobbied for her son's succession. Opposed to Maslama's proposed succession was Khalid al-Kasri, the governor of Iraq, to which Maslama responded by insulting him and his dead brother Asad. Maslama ibn Abd al-Malik's death in the late 730s was a major setback to Hisham's succession plans, as it represented the loss of the plan's key supporter in the Umayyad dynasty. Military activities. On the military front, his empire suffered a series of setbacks, especially in the Caucasus against the Khazars, the Battle of Marj ar-Dabal, and in Transoxiana against the Turkish, the Day of Thirst, and the Battle of the Pass. Hisham sent armies to end the Hindu rebellion in Sindh and was successful when the Hindu ruler Jai Singh was killed. This allowed the Umayyads to reassert their rule over some portions of their provinces in India. Some invasions of Indian kingdoms were led by the Arab governors of Sindh, but they were unsuccessful. Under Hisham's rule, regular raids against the Byzantine Empire continued. One regular commander of Arab forces was the redoubtable Maslama, Hisham's half-brother. He fought the Byzantines in 725–726 CAH 107, and the next year captured Caesarea Mazaca. He also fought the Khazars in the Caucasus. In 728 he fought for a month against the Kakandar and defeated him. Hisham's son Umayyad ibn Hisham was another Arab commander in the almost annual raids against the Byzantine Empire. In 728 he took the fort of Samalu in Cilicia. The next year Umayyad thrust left and Said ibn Hisham right, in addition to a sea raid. In 731 Umayyad captured Carcianan in Cappadocia. Umayyad raided the Byzantine Empire in 731–732 AH 113. The next year he captured Akron-Akroinos, while Abdallah al-Battal took a Byzantine commander prisoner. Umayyad raided Byzantium from 734–737. In 737 al-Walid ibn al-Kaka al-Absi led the raid against the Byzantines. The next year Sulayman ibn Hisham captured Sindura around. In 738–739 Maslama captured some of Cappadocia and also raided the Avars. Theophanes the Confessor p. 133 states that while some Arabs raided successfully in 739 and returned home safely, others were soundly defeated at the Battle of Akroinon. He records that internal Byzantine strife, the struggle between Constantine V and the usurper Artabasdos, facilitated Arab raids by Sulayman ibn Hisham in 741–742 p. 106 that made many Byzantines Arab captives. Al-Tabari refers to the same raid. In North Africa, Kharijite teachings combined with natural local restlessness to produce a significant Berber revolt. In 740, a large Berber force surrounded a loyal army at Wadi Sharif, where the loyalists fought to the death. Hisham dispatched a force of 27,000 Syrians, which was destroyed in 741. In 742 Handhala ibn Safwan began successfully, but soon was besieged in Kairouan. He led a desperate sortie from the city that scattered the Berbers, killing thousands and re-establishing Umayyad rule. Hisham also faced a revolt by the armies of Zayd ibn Ali, grandson of Hussein bin Ali, which was put down because of the betrayal of the Kufans. The Kufans encouraged Zayd to revolt. Zayd was ordered to leave Kufa, and though he appeared to set out for Mecca, he returned and dwelt secretly in Kufa, moving from house to house and receiving the allegiance of many people. Yusuf ibn Umar al-Thaqafi, Iraq's governor, learned of the plot, commanded the people to gather at the Great Mosque, locked them inside, and began a search for Zayd. Zayd with some troops fought his way to the mosque and called on people to come out. He then pushed back Yusuf's troops, but was felled by an arrow. Although his body was initially buried, the spot was pointed out and it was extracted, beheaded, and the head sent to Hisham and later to Medina. In Spain, the internal conflicts of the years past were ended, and Hisham's governor, ʿAbd ar-Rahman ibn Abdullah, assembled a large army that went into France. He besieged Bordeaux and pushed to the Loire. This marked the limit of Arabic conquest in Western Europe. The wave was halted at the Battle of Tours by Charles Martel, who ruled the kingdom of the Franks. Death and succession. Hisham died in February 743, and Maslama led the funeral prayers. Al-Walid Roman II acceded to the caliphate and immediately ordered that Hisham's sons at Rusafa, near Palmyra, be arrested by their cousin al-Abbas ibn al-Walid, but expressly forbade that Maslama or his household be disturbed in deference to their old companionship and Maslama's defense of al-Walid from Caliph Hisham.